Today on Eagle Nation News, we discuss Prosper's annual college night. How can talking with these colleges help students prepare for the next step in their life? We have more later in the show.
Many seniors contemplate whether to pursue their sport in college, but for senior volleyball player and bowler Hope Gramley, this matter is more difficult. Lexi Curitin reports on Hope's choice between her two sports.
And finally, Nick Anderson will be in studio with Jacob Hunt to discuss the possible career opportunities that welding can bring.
All this and more today on Eagle Nation News.
Live from Prosper, Texas, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Monday, September 18th. I'm Jake Fine.
I'm Caitlin Wessels.
I'm Cameron Silva.
We discussed last week about the delay of the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue, but those delays are over as of Thursday. Cameron, what's new?
After national debates over Confederate monuments, the Robert E. Lee statue was removed on Thursday from Lee Park. At first, this removal was delayed due to a deadly collision involving the crane that was supposed to remove the monument, but the vote to remove it from September 6 did stand.
The United Kingdom raised their threat level to critical last week due to the rush hour subway attack in London, which injured 30 people. After they arrested a second man in West London this past weekend, the threat level was lowered.
You probably noticed by now we are not sporting our typical suit and tie. In honor of college night, I decided to rep Mizzou, and Caitlin and Cameron are both sporting UT. Now, I know seniors are already wrapping up their college hunt, but for sophomores and juniors especially, this is the best time to start getting information on different colleges.
Yeah, Jake, right now I'm struggling with applications, so unfortunately I won't be able to make it to college night tonight. But I have been to these fairs in the past, and I think they were pretty beneficial, especially for underclassmen.
Well, I decided that I was actually going to be proactive this year because I haven't gone any other years, and maybe just find out a few colleges that I might keep in mind throughout my high school career.
So make sure you show up at 6 o'clock tonight in the cafeteria.
After this short break, Lexi Curitin reports on Hope Gramley's decision for her future college sports. This week on Eagle Nation News, go behind the mask and meet edgy. Learn the subtle art of balance. Main Gate moves beyond boundaries. And Eagles fly high in the star.
For tomorrow's weather, there will be a high of 92 degrees with a low of 73. The highs later in the week will cool down to about the high 80s. For your fast forecast, I'm Tyler Winden.
As seniors start looking forward to college, that involves a few of them continuing their athletic careers. Despite the few high school students that go on to play at the college level, Hope Gramley has the privilege of choosing between sports to play after she graduates. Lexi Curitin has the story.
Hope Gramley has become one of the top volleyball players in North Texas and is also unofficially the best high school bowler in the country.
I really like that they're different from each other. I don't get bored when it comes to my sports. My favorite thing about bowling happens to be the outfits that I'm able to create. Ladies are asked to wear either slacks or skirts with a polo, and just the different combinations that I can create is so much fun. Volleyball, I like the competition side. Anybody can be anybody on any given day.
Gramley has been playing volleyball since 7th grade and began bowling 8 years ago.
Hope is very mature, so she is a very good leader in that sense. She's also just very mentally focused. She's very down to earth, and she's always been a really hard worker.
I have not decided on a college yet, but I know that it will be for bowling. I don't plan on playing volleyball in college. I've gotten at least 5 D1 volleyball offers, but I've turned them down because it's not exactly what I had in mind when it came to college sports. College sports is very serious to me, and I want to win the national championship in whatever I choose to do. So I think that bowling is my best way to do that. I love how different it is from all the other sports. It's not like you have to be super in shape to do this, although it does help. I like that, you know, it's never the same. There's always something different that needs to be done.
The top 2 colleges for women's bowling have said that Grambling is the top recruiter. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Lexi Kierton.
Thank you, Lexi. After this commercial break, Nick Anderson will be in studio with Jacob Hunt discussing another one of Prosper's unique programs.
College night will be tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. in the cafeteria and main hallway. Juniors who are interested in STEM, apply at the link below for NASA High School Aerospace Scholars. See Jack Chang for help with applying. It's time to order Homecoming Mums and Garters sponsored by the Prosper tennis teams. You can custom order any mum or garter through the Mum Shop in Plano. There will be samples at all lunches starting September 21st.
Now Nick Anderson joins us in studio to talk with Jacob Hunt about the opportunity of taking a welding class here at the high school.
Thanks, Jake. I'm in studio with another Jake, and this Jake is in the welding program?
Yes, sir.
All right, so how'd you first get into welding?
My dad taught me how to weld when I was about 12 years old, and I've been doing jobs with him ever since in his own business.
Oh, yeah? What kind of welding does he do?
He's basically a general contractor, so we go around and do all kinds of weird stuff, some small, some big. We've done trailers, smokers, pipe fences, you know, all of it. So,
all that kind of good.
Oh, yeah.
Any kind of metal in general?
We hit everything.
Yeah, I'll hit everything. So what do you think that means for your future as a welder?
It definitely opens up a lot for me. Got a 5-year head start on most everybody else that goes into that industry, so I've definitely got more of a better chance to excel in that job industry on the welder side.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, Jacob. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Back to that, Jake.
Last night was the 69th Annual Emmy Awards, and here with the big winners is Cameron Silva.
What's up, guys? So I'm sure as some of you saw, the Emmys were actually live on TV last night. There's a lot to talk about. So let's start off with the fact that the Emmys actually cut off Sterling K. Brown in the middle of his acceptance speech, and actually had to finish his speech backstage. There were fans that were pretty angry at the Emmys last night, and there were people who were also tweeting out about it, including Mandy Burley, who said, Nicole Kidman spoke for 2 minutes and 45 seconds and never got music, but then they started playing off Sterling K. Brown at 1:57. Aside from that, though, Donald Glover, an actor and film director who also produces music known as Childish Gambino, became the first African-American director in history to win an Emmy for Best Director of a Comedy Series. Make sure you're following at Eagle Nation News on Twitter for more updates.
Thank you, Cameron. But aside from all the big winners, my favorite part from last night was the surprise appearance from Sean Spicer.
You know, at first I thought it actually was Melissa McCarthy, and then I realized that it actually was Sean Spicer.
That would have been a pretty good impression if it was, but let's get an update on sports now.
Prosper football played Liberty on Friday at the Star, coming out with a 43-7 win.
Prosper volleyball also played on Friday, winning yet another match 3-0.
Now let's take a look at the meeting schedule for today. French National Honor Society will meet during Eagle Time in room 1112.
And take a look at the rest of the week. Well, that's going to do it for our show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Caitlin Wessels.
I'm Cameron Silva.
And I'm Jake Fine. Live long and prosper.
I feel like